The Federal Executive Council has approved 1.9 trillion naira for 44 proposed federal roads under the federal government Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Policy for NNPC and its subsidiaries. Also, approval was given for the procurement and assembling of Magnus aircraft and simulator in the country. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
The proposed federal roads construction is a corporate social responsibility initiative of the NNPC to prioritize road infrastructure across the country. And it is in line with Executive Order 007 signed by President Muhammadu Buhari in January 2019. Now the Federal Executive Council has approved additional 1.9 trillion naira for the reconstruction of 44 more roads in the country.
Concessionaires for 9 road corridors under the pilot phase of the value-added concession of the Highways Development and Management Initiative, following the issuance of the requisite full business case compliance certificates by the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission for a period of 25 years for each road corridor.
Also at this week's Federal Executive Council meeting, approval was given for the procurement and assemblage of Magnus aircraft and simulator in Zaria. This may be a leap for Nigeria towards the manufacturing of aircraft in the country. Minister of Aviation Hadi Sirika says more than 2.2 billion naira was approved to commence the assembling of aircraft in Nigeria.
We will indeed assemble the Magnus aircraft, and we'll continue to do so. And not too distant future, by God's grace.
The Minister of Police Affairs also briefed State House correspondents on Council's approval for a bill that will be sent to the National Assembly on the establishment of the Nigeria Police Force Training School and Institution. He also countered speculations that the Inspector General of Police will retire on the 1st of March this year. The minister says the IG has a tenure of 4 years according to the Police Service Act 2020.
The provision of Police Act 2020, the IG is now supposed to have a kind of 4-year period. Mr. President has already given him a letter of appointment in that regard. So the issue of IG going out during this election period does not arise.
This week's Federal Executive Council meeting was chaired by Vice-President Yemi Osinbajo, while President Muhammadu Buhari traveled to the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, where he received an award for strengthening peace in Africa from the Abu Dhabi Peace Forum. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Talking about the President's Award, President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived the country from NCAT, the Mauritanian capital, where he attended the 3rd Forum of the African Conference for Peace. The president arrived at Rock Villa a few minutes before 4 p.m. His first foreign trip in 2023. The event saw President Buhari honored by the Abu Dhabi Peace Forum with the award for strengthening peace in Africa. The president, in his address at the conference, stated that efforts must be intensified towards curtailing and preventing the circulation of small arms and light weapons and curbing the influx of foreign fighters into the African continent. He stated that the next summit of the African Union should take a holistic review of the challenges that continue to fester in Libya. The president also met with the United States Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom, Rashid Hussain, on the sidelines. He further stated that a number of people disguise under the cover of religion to advance their economic and political agenda, as he advised that continuous education is urgently required to enlighten the larger populace. In other news, the chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Mohammed Marwa, has warned that tougher times await drug barons and cartels if they fail to back out of the illicit drug business. The NDLEA boss gave the warning at the news conference where he provided a scorecard of the agency's achievements in the last 2 years. Mr. Mawa said 34 drug barons are among 26,458 drug traffickers facing prosecution. He also explained that 2,346 convictions were recorded in 2022 alone, the highest in the history of the agency and almost double the highest ever recorded in 33 years.
We successfully prosecuted 3,733 offenders who were convicted and handed various jail terms. Of the conviction figure, 2,346 were recorded in 2022 alone. Illicit substances seized across the country were about 5,730,000 kilograms. That's about 5,700 tons seized, which together with cash seized were worth over 500 billion naira.
The House of Representatives has called on the nation's security chiefs to deploy more personnel to Edo Central Senatorial District in order to stem the rising wave of abductions. And this is as a bill seeking to amend the NDLEA Act to ensure strict compliance with provisions of the federal character in employment and vacancies past second reading. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Insecurity remains a talking point in Nigeria, and these legislators say, as representatives of the people, they feel the heat more and bear the brunt. In the last few days, prominent citizens have been kidnapped in the Edo Central Senatorial District, as in other parts of the country. The abductions, which come days after the kidnapping of passengers at the Tomikimi train station in Igueben, Edo State, are a source of worry to the people. A motion from Edo member Sergio Sogun seeks an end to daily abductions of citizens in the interest of peace and development.
As is convinced that the setting up of a police mobile force base and a Nigerian Army barracks / forward operating base FOB within Edo Central Senatorial District will go a long way in weeding off perpetrators of crimes and criminality from Esan Land and Edo State in general.
Still in Edo, the House urged the Federal Ministry of Works to construct a pedestrian bridge on the Benin-Ore-Lagos Express Road by Okada Junction to save the lives of commuters.
Apart from the danger to which human lives are exposed, another challenge is that the non-availability of pedestrian bridge discourage residents from hustling for their daily economic activities.
A bill to amend the NDLEA Act for compliance to federal character principles also passed second reading.
I rise to move a bill for an act to amend the National Directorate of Employment Act.
A Senate bill seeking the establishment of a university for the teaching of history and archaeology was stepped down for further consultations.
History is not being studied in our secondary schools. If history is not being studied, then there's a gap. What's the nexus?
Unhappy about the non-submission of reports on 4 bills, the House discharged 3 committees of their assignments and committed the bills to the Committee of the Whole in line with its resolve to complete work on all pending legislative tasks before June. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.